Good morning, friends, museum family. What you perhaps can't see is my big fat smile. Good morning, good morning. So happy to be able to share this experience with you all. And I wish that we were sharing air, the air we share, but soon enough. In the meanwhile, I'm grateful for this platform. And I'm grateful for you lending me the generosity of your attention and your time. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And so you all probably know, but just in case there's anyone out there who doesn't, the museum is open. Woo, woo, hoo, hoo. Museum is open and you are welcome to just walk in. And yet, if you want to reserve, that might be ideal because they are limiting the amount of people that they let in. So just go to the museum's website and they will guide you and show you the way to safely enjoy everything that's available here. It's pretty awesome. All right, friends, so find your way into a comfortable throne. And it just doesn't matter how you are seated today. In anything that is supremely comfortable to you, and you could be lying down if that's better for your body. So feel free to do your best Goldilocks right now and tuck yourselves in. There's really nothing to see today. It's all an inside job, and it will arrive through the little stethoscopes on the sides of your head. So get maybe Shavasana or a seated asana, whatever it is, arrive there. And as you arrive in comfort, we're going to first engage in a little pratyahara. And pratyahara is a term borrowed from the yogis. Pratyahara is about owning our senses. And so as we arrive at this topic of owning our senses, if there's anybody that has their audio on, you might want to go ahead and turn that off. I'm picking up some other folks' audio. So there you go. Thanks. And so as we begin to become the proprietors of our senses, drawing them inward, I invite you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, don't only close the external eyelids, but close the shade behind the shade. So drawing the internal eyelids down, drawing the shades down, and taking your internal gaze down through the inside strike of your cheekbones in the direction of the place from which you breathe in love. So drawing our internal gaze towards the center strike of our being, perhaps arriving at the hearth of the heart. And as we draw our eyes inward, we give up concern for what lies in front of the eyes. And we heighten our curiosity for what lies within. What is there to see on the inside? And obviously this involves a sight beyond visual ability. You see an internal gaze, the internal inquiry. What is there to see on the inside? And then those little stethoscopes of your ears that are turned outward, reorient them to turn within. And really heighten your ability to hear what's going on from deep within your being. Listening to the body's whispers. So allow yourself to orient in that direction. The eyes move in to join the ears at the center strike of your being. And there we are, listening, looking deep within with this childlike innocence and curiosity. How does it feel to be you? What do you hear? What do you see? And then we draw our sense of touch to the interior. What do you feel? As if you could reorient your skin. And there was no longer this outer sheath connecting to the outside world, but the sheath turns inward and connects to the inside world. So drawing the sense of touch inward, the listening, the looking. And this one might be a little bit more ethereal, but as if you could really allow your body the privilege, the opportunity to taste what's so at the center strike of your being. What is there to see? What is there to hear? What is there to feel? What is there to taste? At the very center of you. Whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, psychic. And so continuing this inward journey, we're going to keep borrowing from the wisdom of the yogis, this ancient wisdom, these traditions. And we're going to explore the sheaths, the layers of our being. The yogis believed that there were 5 layers of our being, moving from the outermost gross physical to the innermost subtle deliciousness. So starting in the gross physical form, the, so to speak, food body, the part of us that is made of matter, the dense. Just pause, arriving in full awareness at this sheath of our being, offering all of our senses to the physical form for a moment. And just noticing, listening, tasting. What is the physical body offering? And just receive pure sensation. Try as best you can to stay out of the mind and just receive the information your body, the physical form, is offering. Noticing a coolness in the hands. Noticing a feeling of density or tautness in the jaw. As best we can, just pure noticing, pure sensation. And if your mind wanders, as it's wont to do, come back to your points of contact, feeling the chair, the floor, whatever's beneath you. There I am. There's my physical form. Let me come back inward and continue this exploration. Be compassionate with yourselves. Last little bit of just scanning the physical form, feeling, experiencing with great curiosity and kindness. And then having an idea, a sense of the physical sheath. It's known as the Annamaya kosha in the language of yoga. We then turn inward. And then we pass through the first portal and then arrive at the second sheath. And this is moving from the body to the breath body, the breath sheath, the pranamaya kosha. So just allow your senses, your full awareness, to rest on your breath sheath. Whatever that means, feel your breath body. And if that means you want to intentionally breathe, whatever it is you do to dive down into your breath body, to have a felt sense of it, do that. Whatever allows you to dive into the experience of your breath, arrive. And just be in your breath body. And then once you've efforted in whatever way may be necessary to arrive, see if you can release the effort and just be in your breath body. Everywhere our physical form has ever been, our breath body was there as a witness, having the experience that the physical body was having. Our breath has been there for all of it. So that just as there's a story to our bones, there's a story to our breath. Our breath has its own life. Just open up to that. What is the feeling of your breath? Is the body preferring the inhalation or the exhalation, if there is preference? Is the air warmer, coming or going? What is the climate of the breath? The texture of the breath. Just continue getting intimate with your breath body, however you're able. And just as we do yoga to work out the kinks of our being as they present in the Annamaya kosha, in the gross physical sheath, we do breath techniques. Prana, pranayama. We do intentional breathing to smooth out our breath body. So let's just take a moment with that privilege of smoothing out the breath body. As we have that saying like, oh, it took my breath away. And when we're scared, like, that's the breath body responding to whatever life is serving. And so, of course, we would want to tend to the breath body just as we tend to the physical body, if we're able, right? And we are able. We have that privilege of smoothing out that layer of our being. And so I invite you just to begin breathing mindfully, very low down in your body, as low down as you can in the container of breath within you. Don't get hung up on the anatomy. Just breathe low down in the container of your breath. Like if you can, from the belly button downward, imagine that being possible. And just notice how it feels. On the inhalation, maybe there's this expansion. And on the exhalation, perhaps there's this opportunity for purification. We set the intention that with each inhalation, I'm going to make a little bit more room in my being for life and whatever life presents. And with the exhalation, I'm going to clear away the past and the residue of the past and let it go. Inhaling a fresh, new breath, full of possibility. And exhaling any stagnation, any bit of the past that no longer serves you or contributes to your radiance. Notice how that feels, just to clean out the basement a little bit, the basement of the breath body. And it's okay if it's difficult to keep the breath low down. So many of us are used to shallow survival breathing from the upper chest. So be patient with yourself and just stay with it. Last little bit of breathing in the basement, breathing in the cellar of prana, just in case anything good could come from it. And for your last few rounds of deep, low belly breathing, see if you can invite it not just in the front of your body, but imagine your belly button were on the back side, and breathe in the back body just as much. Low down in the back of the basement. And then maybe in the side doors of the basement, the front of the basement, all throughout the basement. And then with your next exhalation, encourage it, exaggerate it, exhale, 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 detox, spring cleaning, housekeeping, and then release the breath to its own intelligence. Just pause and notice. Notice perhaps how the breath body feels, how the physical body feels. And then we're going to see what it feels like to explore the first level, the ground level of the breath body. So imagine that you could isolate your breath from your belly button to the bottom of your rib basket. Just imagine. And start breathing on the ground level, just isolating out the first floor, the ground level. So you're not upstairs, you're not in the attic, and you're not downstairs, you're not in the cellar. You're just entry level from belly button to rib basket. Noticing how it feels to breathe there. Just because we're curious. Just because we can. And if you find it helpful to give yourself a physical confirmation or encouragement to breathe in that area, put your hands there. Using the Annamaya Kosha to assist you in getting a little bit deeper in the Pranamaya Kosha. And then noticing, can we breathe as much into the front, the back, and both sides, distributing that prana throughout the first floor. And really encouraging that expansiveness, front, back, side to side with the inhalation. And leaning into the possibility of releasing the residue of the past, any of it that no longer serves us, with the exhalation. Inhale into our expansiveness. Exhale, letting go. Inhale, the birthing. Exhaling, the dying. And it's okay. Death is a possibility for transformation and rebirth. And the inhalation shows we're born. The exhalation, the courage to die. Bottom of the exhalation, born again. Last little bit of just breathing on the first floor, noticing how it feels. And at the bottom of the next exhalation, exaggerate that exhale, lean in, lean into your exhale, 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 and then release that sweet breath to its own intelligence. Pause, notice, and if you feel the need to move in any way, that's what you do, because you follow the body's lead, its infinite wisdom and honesty. Let that be your guide. And then a last little exploration. We go upstairs in the house of prana, and we breathe from mid-chest to upper chest. Right? And so we start to isolate the breath and see if we can take it upstairs, up into the attic, higher and higher. Breathing from the mid-chest up into the collarbones, the armpits. And then exhaling, emptying, clearing, letting go. Inhaling, making room for possibility, fresh new perspective, new ideas. Exhaling, clearing out, releasing, relinquishing. Continue for several more rounds of intentional breathing, high up in your being, and just exploring. If it's challenging, it's okay. Can you just say, it's challenging, and here I am breathing. And let whatever you've got be plenty. Just stay with your breath wherever it will be and how it feels. As best we can, just staying in our felt sense of our breath body. And if movement wants to happen, it does. You welcome it. And you sneak that breath up underneath your collarbones, up underneath your armpits, your shoulder blades. Don't forget the back body, the back side of the house of prana. That's where the majority of the lung tissue lies, right? Sometimes it's helpful to put the breasts on the back body. Put the nipples behind you so we can reorient and breathe freely with our back body. Breathe with your side body. Last little bit of breathing on high. Just exploring the pranamaya kosha and our felt sense of it. Inhale, open wide, open up whatever you can on high. And then exhale, empty, 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 empty. Clear it out. And then let it go. Release the breath to its intelligence. Pause however your body wants you to, whatever shape. And just feel pranamaya kosha, the breath sheath. And then, if you've been a student of mindfulness and mindfulness-based stress reduction techniques, you've perhaps heard that the body is linked to the mind through the breath. So we've moved from the outermost sheath, the gross physical form, inward to the breath sheath, the pranic sheath, which carries us in the direction of the mind. So this is the manomaya kosha. And as we arrive at the mental sheath, this is the mind that has wants and desires. And this sheath is, the manomaya kosha is often referred to as the mental, emotional, social sheath. It has preferences and opinions. So we arrive at the manomaya kosha, the mental, emotional, social sheath. And we just settle in with great compassion and honesty. And we take a moment to just feel, to sense, to maybe review. What kind of company have you been to others lately? How have you been in your mind? What have been the repeating loops of wants and desires? What have been the preferences and opinions that have been influencing your choices, influencing how your life looks, how your life is organized? We usually have a life that's organized around what we want, what we don't want, what we like, what we don't like. So just have a look at the Manamaya Kosha, have a feel. And no worries if you have a full intellectual understanding of what I'm hinting at. Because this is ancient wisdom that really takes some time to unpack. Decades, really, if you're a sincere student. So we're just arriving in the general ballpark, the vicinity of an initial understanding of the Manamaya Kosha. Like, who have I been? Who have I been to others? And then we be sweet. It's just a moment of honesty. I mean, all this inquiry, this awareness is about getting more and more honest with ourselves so that who we are is a little bit more of an honest expression. So we check in with who we are, who we've been, and is it who we really want to be? Is it how we really want to be? And if not, we just notice, there's a slight gap there. Let me stay curious about that. And then from the Manamaya Kosha, we go to the Vyanamaya Kosha, which is the discriminating mind. Ramana Maharishi, a great sage in southern India, dedicated his entire life to this inquiry. Who am I? Who am I really? So we move deeper inward into the mind, beyond the mental, emotional, social, into penetrating the ultimate truth, the ultimate honesty. Who am I? And as I say, this is worthy of dedicating one's life. But at the most shallow pass, a meditation practice, right? Perhaps this is why we meditate. To penetrate that inquiry, who am I? Who am I? This discriminating mind. And then moving in and beyond and through that, we arrive at the Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha. And that is the bliss sheath. So this entire journey is to guide us to the truth of who we are. And that is bliss. That is the truth of who we are. And the Anandamaya Kosha is as real as any of the other sheaths of our being. As real as the Annamaya Kosha, our physical form. Remember that. Your bliss body is as real as your physical body. As real as your breath, your mind. So drop in and remember that for our last bit of time together. Really merge into your Anandamaya Kosha, your bliss sheath. Remember who you are. You are bliss. I am bliss. We are bliss. And that's just the truth of who we are. We don't have a choice. We have choice of whether or not we remember that. That's who we are. Ananda, bliss. So, remembering that, and perhaps recalibrating, reorienting, reorganizing ourselves around that deep truth. All my blissful selves unite and bow and honor each and every one of your blissful selves. So, my love and gratitude to each of you. Shine on, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being.